Liverpool won. Tottenham Hotspur won. I'm out of breath. I'm nervous. And I haven't felt that way about a game of football for a long time watching Tottenham. I really haven't. And I'm actually really, really, really proud of the effort from the players today. We had no squad. We had an unoccupied spot. 2 goalkeepers, 2 first-team players, and some kids up against Liverpool who rested players. And look, we're going to talk about the game, but I actually think Tottenham were well worthy of a point. I think we were the better team. I think Liverpool were well off their best, as they have been for most parts, for most times this season. But given the stakes, given the environment, the energy, the flow of confidence and lack thereof that Tottenham Hotspur have had to deal with over the last 3 or 4 months. I mean, I don't know if you guys feel the same. Let me know in the chat, and big up to you all for joining. But I genuinely felt like that was potentially a needle-moving effort. I think it was a potentially game-changing, season-defining effort. We weren't fantastic. Liverpool certainly weren't. But the grit, the determination, the heart, the fact that we didn't let our heads drop when we conceded a goal that we shouldn't have conceded. You know, Vicario making a mistake with his footwork. But ultimately, whilst everyone wants to probably focus on that particular moment, 2 or 3 fantastic saves from him as well. Fingertip saves throughout the game. Danzo and Dragusin playing as a centre-back pairing for the first time. I thought they handled themselves very, very well. Very well. Sousa playing out of position, playing as a right winger. It was a real head-scratcher for the start. It was a real head-scratcher. But we're going to come to that. I've got Hugo eating in the background. I've got Johnny coming on in a moment, and Billy T as well. We got a 4-ball to get us through it. But I just want to start by saying I'm proud, and I'm breathless. I'm animated. I'm excited because it was the best game of football. It wasn't a classic game of football, but for Tottenham fans, it was probably the best game of football that we have seen for months and months and months. I think we could have won that game. We had buckets of chances. Still a lot of work to do with the passing. Still a hell of a lot of frustrating moments from Tottenham players. Underhitting, overhitting passes. We'll come to the negatives. We'll come to the positives as we go through it. But just overall, a ride of a game, a roller coaster of a game. That second half, I mean, the second half was just end to end. Both teams throwing caution to wind, and could have gone either way. If Tottenham walked away 1-0 losers on that game, which I kind of had resigned myself to thinking that was going to happen, I still would have come on here and said, okay, the result wasn't what we wanted, but you know what? There was at least something to hang our hats on. Igor Tudor, for me, doesn't get sacked tonight. Everyone was expecting a managerial change. Right? Everyone was expecting it because everybody to a man was expecting 3 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, 6 goals. I saw someone saying 7-1. The Spurs 5. I think the fewest goals that we thought we were going to concede was my prediction with 5 goals. But no. Tottenham battled well. With no options. With players playing out of position. When we brought players on, Olasasi getting his debut, Rosewell getting his debut, Olasasi chipped in. We're going to talk about it all now. I just want to, for me, I'm happy. I'm happy tonight. I'm happy. I feel like there's so much to be proud of going to Anfield and thinking you could have got something out of the game. I mean, a roller coaster game. I got Hugo in. Let's bring Hugo in, guys. Before I do, actually, just don't forget, smash the like, smash the subscribe. Notification button should be squeezed. Comments should be dropped thick and fast. And don't forget, we're sponsored by OK Jersey. You know where to go to get all your clobber, your Jeremy Jacques, your T-shirts, your shirts, your training gear, all that stuff. Branded, unbranded. You can get it from OK Jersey with code Sean at checkout. Gets you 8% off. Big up to them for the sponsorship. Let's bring Hugo in and see how he's doing. Oh, why has that gone that way? Hi, Hugo. How are you, mate? What are you thinking, buddy?
All right, mate. The adrenaline is pumping.
Yours is too, yeah?
Yeah.
Mate, I was bouncing around that front room, bouncing. My dog was going mental.
Yeah, well, I've got 4 of them, mate. So, yeah, it was a pleasant surprise to see them not roll over and to actually like put in a proper shift. Richie, everyone's been saying it for a while, you know, just, I don't know. Yeah, we all know, like, you know, we've called him trampoline foot. We've, you know, said that he's, you know, bang average at best, but I don't think that one can question his heart or, you know, how he genuinely wants to fight for Tottenham Hotspur. He might be a lot of things, but I genuinely think that today he was our best player by a long. Yeah, he was our best player by a distance.
Who was our best player by distance?
Richie.
I thought Mathys Tel was our most creative outlet. I think most of the things that Richalison got his noggin on, I thought Mathys Tel was the cultivator of the opportunity. I thought both of them played fairly well. Or, you know, listen, I think Richie missed a couple of chances that he could have put the right side, because you don't get many chances against Liverpool, least of all against away at Anfield. But look, I think Richie could have scored 4 goals on a different day, maybe 5, right?
Yeah, no, but I mean, you know, ultimately he evidently hasn't down tools. He's putting
Definitely
in
not
a shift. Solanke, I thought, looked just like completely abject today. I don't think I remember seeing him doing much of anything, to be honest.
No, he ran around quite a bit, a couple of first touches here and there, but yeah, he doesn't seem to have got back to he doesn't seem to be at his normal level, which is problematic. Hello, Jasper. But
yeah, I don't know, mate. And Pape Sarr, you know, can't. I don't know. I can't. He's like a sort of headless chicken, really. Just sort of runs around and doesn't seemingly do a huge amount. And Dragoshin's agent, if he ever opens his mouth again about how his player should be playing for the likes of the top sides in Europe, someone just ought to show him highlights of this game.
You thought Dragosin was bad?
Mate, I thought Dragosin was shambolic.
Oh, mate, come on. Let's talk about positives. Forget the negative. Come on.
I thought Dragosin had a decent game. I thought he handled that side fairly well.
The personification of Radu Dragoshin was when he ran up the wing, almost dribbled it, you know, out, and then promptly just passed it straight to a Liverpool player.
What are we doing here, Sean? What are we doing here?
Yeah, we are. I don't know, Hugo. You are starting off on some negatives, mate. You're starting off on some real negatives.
Yeah, mate.
There's a lot of positives.
Hang on. Today, hang on a second.
3 times this is only the 3rd time we've ever been down in 14 games there where we've been down at half time. We've even got a point.
Yeah, I appreciate what you're
saying.
I'm
so happy. Go on, Hugo. Go on. Finish your point.
I'm just saying hang on a second. We've had full storms before, like when we got, you know, away at Sunderland. And then we were like, you know, we had our hopes up that the tide was turning.
We haven't played Sunderland away. We haven't played Sunderland away.
Sorry, you know, Leeds away. Sorry, Leeds. You know, same part of the world-ish. Don't quote that. But the point being is we've had several full storms this season where we've had performances where we've fought and we've looked good and, you know, whatever else. And then the next game we've been at home.
Come on, Hugo, take it. Take the point.
Yeah, but don't worry about that, though, Hugo.
Mate, I'm thrilled with the point. I'm thrilled with the point. Don't get me wrong, especially bearing in mind that all of the other sides picked up at, you know, like a point as well around us, right?
There isn't a Spurs fan that I know and diehards that went
Come on, Johnny, liven it up, Johnny.
That went to that game today and said, you know what, we're going to win, right? Okay, it was how much we were going to get beaten by, okay? And I'll tell you something, all those people out there in the chat, and you know exactly who you are, who were slagging Richarlison off throughout the entire game. He should have got the header. He should have done this. He should have done that, right? He scored the goal, right? He was a constant threat. You should have been having a go at Solanke, who was really quite poor. And I got to say to you, Igor Tudor, some of them subs were mighty strange. Taking off Jet Spence was a strange one for Callum Aloisi. I mean,
I thought Callum Aloisi did okay when he came on. I thought, I quite like the way he linked up with
my
Xavi
guy,
Simons.
mate. Yeah, mate. I'm a massive fan, as you well know. I've sung his praises countless times, but I thought I was keen for him to come on, but I was just surprised it was Tel. And
Mawani did all right when he came on, and I thought that Xavi added something when he came on as well.
Yeah,
they were pushing for the goal. But listen, let's talk about. Look, there was one guy who not only cost us one goal, but he could have cost us a couple more. Vicario is just an absolute liability.
He also made 3 fantastic saves, mate.
He made one good save.
The one that he dipped onto the post.
The one that he dipped onto the
post.
One by
the post.
Yeah, and the one from Mo Salah that should have been a corner that wasn't. That was going in. He got a decent fingertip. Hang
on a second. His distribution was shocking. He nearly set them up for 2 goals. One of them he saved. Right?
The one that was brilliant was like he's made like a nice bit of footwork to get away, right? And then he's gone to try and pass it to Dragusin, and he passed it straight to Salah.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I like Vicario all of a sudden. I'm just saying, with him, you take the bitter with the better, right? Like, he is not the right goalkeeper for Tottenham. Obviously, he's leaving in the summer. And yes, he absolutely screwed up with his footwork. Like, he was trying to do twinkle toes, and then he missed it. And obviously, he should have got.
How much space did he leave? Has he done his research?
Look, he screwed up for that. But we would have been 2-0 down if it wasn't for an unbelievable save to knock it onto the post from Cody Gakpo. And I think the Salah save was going in as well. You take the bitter with the better with him. He's a very good instinct goalkeeper. The less time he has to think about it, the more better he does. The more time he has, the worse he is. Everything apart from shot stopping, he is atrocious at. We can all agree. I'm just saying, if we're going to sit there and say he had a stinker, fair enough, but he wasn't a complete stinker, because if it wasn't for 2, there's a lot of goalkeepers that wouldn't have got down to Cody Gakpo's shot, and then the game is set.
Look, it's too many this season, right? Listen,
sure,
I look at David Raya. The difference between Arsenal being top of the league, 10 points clear at the moment, 9 points clear, is because of David Raya. Time and time again, he's made unbelievable saves. And if I look at how many points Vicario say, listen, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm hoping, look, we say it often, Sean, confidence breeds confidence, right? We say it all the time. And I'm hoping that this is the catalyst. I hear what you're saying, Hugo, but look, for us to ever go there, right, and get a result is incredible. And let's be honest, you cannot sack Tudor now. 100%.
You can't sack Tudor. You can't sack Tudor.
No.
I want to just everyone take a breath, because I think we're all excited and we're all.
I
came upstairs. I was like, I'm not ready to go live. I don't have to have a heart.
I'm just trying to temper the adrenaline and enthusiasm with the dose of reality that has been our season to date. Which
we've had reality.
Out of every single time when we look like we're about to turn the corner, we then manage to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. So I don't want to be Debbie Downer. I want to support our club. I'm just trying to resort to the mean, as opposed to,
Hang on. Don't get me wrong, Hugo. We haven't turned the corner. We haven't won a game in 2026, right?
Correct.
But we asked for fight. We asked for passion. We asked for determination. Everything that we asked for as Spurs fans, all of us, they delivered on that pitch today. That's it, right? That's 100%.
It. By the way, that second half, I turned around because it's Mother's Day. I had my mum round. I said to her, she goes, "This game is really boring." I was like, "Boring?" She's like, "Well, not a lot's happening. It's 1-0." And I was like, I was like, this is the most exciting game of football that, as a Tottenham fan, I've seen in 2026 for the most of 2025. Like, this was huge. And in that, the first half, I think we struggled, right? It was wave after wave after wave, pretty much of Liverpool. I'll bring up the domination, the momentumometer and the stats in a minute. The first half, it felt like, okay, you go down 1-0. We're fighting hard. I was just really happy that we got in 1-0. Had a couple of chances towards the end of the first half, which we'll talk about when we go through the game in a second. Richarlison getting a header that could have gone wide or just could have gone the right side of the post. A few other moments here and there.
He was stretching really hard.
Yeah, for sure. You get in at halftime 1-0. I'm like, okay, let's see what we do in the second half. Because generally speaking, we have come out in the second half under Tudor and under Thomas Frank. And we've shown more about us. But usually the game's been beyond us at that particular point in time. But we come out in the second half. Starts all right. Starts a bit cagey for both teams. But then by about the 65th minute mark, boys, the game just opened up like Bonnie Blue. And it was like Tottenham left 6 men upfield. And you got a feel for some of and actually this is where I'm going to give Dragusin credit, because some of the breaks that Liverpool had against us, he was like him and Pedro Porro charging back like an absolute like demented wasp, flying back as hard as he could. Jed Spence charging back. And Kevin Danso, I thought, was fantastic on the day. I think those 4 got back, and also I want to give credit to Archie Gray as well, because he got up and down that pitch down on that left-hand side all afternoon. But we left 5 men up, and when Liverpool gave the ball away because we were intercepting and interpreting the game well, we were more than happy just to throw it back up there again. It was like old school football, Johnny. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed that second half.
Sean, I've got something to ask you. Right? People might say, I got a question. Are Micky van de Ven and Romero the ones that are pulling the club down? Is their attitude? Is Romero and Micky van de Ven's attitude, right, really maybe the issue because they've set on pastures new? I don't know. But look, all we asked for today was fight, passion, determination, and to give it their all and show togetherness, right? And even when it didn't go right, should I say? there was no shouting at each other. The only person that did any shouting was Vicario.
Porro was shouting.
Yeah, but
Porro screamed at Muani so loud in the second half that you can hear it.
Meanwhile, he had a chance to put the ball in the last minute, and he didn't. But I got to say, did you not think it was a strange decision where we had a corner in the 95th minute, and he takes Richalison off?
Yeah, weird.
I wrote that in the chat. I'm like, he's particularly
why
head. I'm like,
the guy's winning everything in the air. But I got to say, you know as well as I do, guys, right? Had that challenge by Virgil van Dijk been the other way round, that is a penalty all day long.
It was like the Micky one versus Palace.
Yeah, Richarlison probably should have like not gone for the ball. Should have gone down.
He gets accused of going down.
I know. I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying like he was too honest probably in that scenario. You know,
Richie was unbelievable today. I just can't. I was going to say, Billy, the amount of messages I got from people saying Richarlison's this, Richarlison's costing us. Not Richarlison's working the hardest. Yeah. Dom Solanke was the one maybe you could ask questions of. He was absolutely shocking.
I think that's true of Richarlison and Tel. They were both fighting for it today for me.
Yeah. Those two were superb up front. And Sousa, the kid Sousa, he did really well until he was taken off. And I thought Callum Oluwesi, he looked like
he was better than Sarr when he came on.
It's ready.
His first touch, I watch him a lot in the under-18s, so I was so excited when he came on today. He made some fantastic first touches, spreading the ball out wide to the left, linking really well with Xavi Simons. Fantastic. I mean,
it just makes it baffling that these academy players have not played more this season. Like they're not out of place.
Yeah. Billy, what's your overall thoughts, mate?
I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing, to be honest. It just feels like finally we've seen a bit of fight. I thought we could have easily won that game in the end, to be honest. I thought we lacked quality at times, but the desire was definitely there. I don't want to be too negative after, we've finally seen something, but I think, Vicario has actually cost us a win there with an absolute
100%.
It could have been worse. But all we've been asking for is a bit of fight from the players, and we finally bloody got it.
100%, Billy. 100%. 100%.
How bad do you think? Were Liverpool just bad, or did we make them make mistakes? Because they gave the ball away so many times. We both did, but like their distribution was shocking. To see Jamie Carragher throughout the game saying, this is what Liverpool do this year, right? They can't finish their dinner.
I thought they were absolutely terrible, to be honest. Yeah, and they were there for the taking, really. But with our depleted squad and the players that we had out, it's a very good result to get a result there. I think it's our best result there since Conte. Obviously, we always get hammered there.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can't be really disappointed with a draw, but that game was there for the win, even, wasn't it? But I thought players like Archie Gray, Richalison, Tel were really fighting for us today, and we badly needed that for a long time.
Yeah. Hugo, let me ask you. Let's go around the traps here, because we sort of come in for the first 20 minutes, like everyone's buzzing and screaming and shouting. The starting 11. It was a little bit strange, right? Pedro, we didn't know if we were playing a back three, a back five, or a back four, whatever. Turned out that Jed Spence was going to play off the left. We thought Sousa was going to play off the left, and Jed Spence was going to play right wing back, and Pedro Porro was going to play on the right side of a three. That wasn't the case. We played a back four away from home. Nice to see under Tudor. He's obviously trying things up, but obviously he did play Sousa at right wing. Yeah. Which I don't think anybody thought, and he had a fantastic shot in the 7th, 8th minute, whatever it was, that stung, that was whipping all over the place. What did you think? I know we had literally no options, but what did you think of the starting 11? Were you intrigued by Tudor's selection, or was it kind of a head scratcher at the time? What do you think?
I feel like more times than not, it just sort of feels like a bunch of names have been put on bits of paper, put in a bag, shook up, and he's just kind of plucked out the names and stuck them on the team sheet, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
Other than, the sort of central defenders, as it turned out, there seemed to be some sort of rhyme or reason today, but otherwise I was trying to make sense of the of the choice to put Sousa down the right and as opposed to, Spence down the right and vice versa. So
he wasn't actually on the right. He was actually right midfield.
Yeah, I at this stage, I think we've basically decided, haven't we, most of us, that at the end of the day, the tactics are pretty much out the window, and whoever gets put wherever just needs to, do their best and try and show some pride and get a result where we can. So, we all know as well that for, the Forest game, it's going to be, it's going to be like a snow globe again. You're going to shake it up, and it's going to be different, different players.
Oh, come on, Hugo.
Hugo,
give the guy some credit, right? The guy's played nearly his entire career as a manager. While 3 games, he's played 3 at the back, right?
Yeah.
Today, he went 4-4-2. Got to give the guy credit where credit's due.
Oh, 100%. 100% give him credit.
He's
but if it doesn't work out, right, he's going to get absolutely slated, right?
Correct.
But he doesn't. Obviously, he's a guy. He's a guy who's happy to take some chances and surprise people, and that's kind of interesting, right?
It might have been a chance for him, but it's not a chance like our side for the last however many seasons has been playing, 4 at the back, right? So in fact, it made more sense that we should be playing 4 at the back, because that's what they're, like muscle memory. That's what, like brain, subconscious, everything else that goes with it. That's what they're used to. Space, surroundings, how everyone links up with one another in that particular formation. That's the shape that we've been playing for however long, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we still, hang on. We've been playing 4 at the back. Yeah, for forever. But we lost 22 games last season, so that don't cut no mustard with me.
Yeah,
right?
but do you remember we sacked off the league? Remember, because we were focusing.
No, we weren't sacked off the league. I was at the fucking games, right? It's bullshit, right? I don't. That narrative doesn't wash with me.
No, mate, it wasn't. It was appalling as far as I could see as well. But all I'm trying to say is just as far as a familiarity of how.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Pieces work in a particular formation versus another. We're not in a situation now where, we saw, when Ange tried the 3 at the back, that was an absolute disaster. When how many were we down away at Everton?
I don't know. How many, Hugo, how many people called 4-4-2 today?
Not too bad.
No one.
No one, Hugo,
No.
is the answer, right? No one thought we were going to score. No one thought we were going to win. Get a draw. No one thought we were going to get any points. Everyone thought we were going to play three at the back, and everyone thought it'd be a cricket score, right?
Yep.
I look at this game. The guys come in, even more cards dealt with him. Conor Gallagher's not fit. He's had all this has gone on in the week. He's had to deal with the fallout from Madrid. And to go there today at Liverpool, where I have seen countless times, I've gone to most of those 31 games, right, at Liverpool, and I've seen one victory. One. And today was only the third time in God knows how long, right, that we've been down 1-0 and come back and got anything out of the game.
And those fans were absolutely fantastic today. Absolutely fantastic. They really were. You could hear them all day long. You know, you could hear them all day long. Listen, I'm with you, Johnny. Like, I think that when it comes to Igor Tudor, you know, Johnny, you and I had a massive rant on Football Inc. yesterday.
Correct.
About, look, he might not be the right guy for Tottenham. Maybe he's a little bit too militant. Maybe he's a little bit too much of an Eastern Bloc type of character. Like, no fucking excuses. Just go do your fucking job. Work hard. No, stop being fucking victims. All that sort of shit. And
I love it.
I don't listen. I'm not sure, right? I don't know. It's one swallow doesn't make a summer. He's had a catalogue of errors.
Correct.
I'm not sitting there saying all is forgiven, but the guy's clearly someone who doesn't mind taking a risk. He doesn't mind surprising people with the tactics. And on the day, given how few options he had, he put us out there in a team that I think caught Arne Slot offside. I think it caught Liverpool out a little bit. And I don't think he necessarily had the opportunity to play a back three, because everyone knows if you're going to play the back three and you're putting Pedro Porro out there, he's going to get torn a new arsehole by Cody Gakpo or whoever he puts out there, Onima, Rio, whatever his name is. But look, Tottenham surprised everyone with the tactics. Igor Tudor, I think, gets his flowers today. And does this put to bed any notion of him being sacked tonight? I'll start with you.
Well, not for me. Can I just say one thing before Billy comes in, right?
Yeah,
Billy needs to talk, right? Was that shit? I forgot what I was going to say. It's gone. It's gone. I'll come back to me.
Go on then, Billy.
Back to me.
Sorry, yeah. It's an interesting one, isn't it? I have no clue what they're going to do now.
I've remembered now. So you go, Billy.
Yeah, you go first. You go first.
While he's got it.
Before it goes again. Look, Liverpool's eyes were very much balanced here. They were a bit conflicted because once, you know, Villa and Chelsea lost, and they had a chance to go top four and really close that gap. But also they have one massive eye on the Champions League coming up on Tuesday or Wednesday. And, you know, the fact that they dropped Ekitike, Curtis Jones, Salah and others, you know, there was one eye on that. And I'm sure somebody or some fans will say, well, you know, that's why they weren't so good. But like you can only put what's in front of you. We had so many injuries that can't be leveled against us that we didn't beat or didn't get the point against the good Liverpool team. Sorry, Billy. Go on, mate.
No. Yeah. I completely agree. And I think
I was going to say, you see what they brought off Liverpool were bringing off the bench.
Hang on, Hugo.
Billy.
let Billy come in. I'll bring you in a second, Hugo. Sorry, mate.
That's all good.
It's okay. We could all tag team. It's like
Hugo last.
Yeah.
It's the first time in a very long time that we've had some momentum, isn't it? So God knows what they're going to do with it, man. Like, this is the first time in 2026 we've had any kind of momentum. So it's a difficult decision now for sure. Like, I think, you know, my worry is that every big decision they've made, they've got wrong in some respects. So I don't back them to make the right one. But this is the first time we got some momentum, and God knows how long. So we've got to try and use it as best we can. But that Forest game is absolutely fucking massive, man. It's like, just feels like, you know, this result before that game is just huge, and we've been praying for some kind of result to pick up from, and finally we've got it. And you know, it just wouldn't surprise you if they get the call wrong and do something wrong to lure in this momentum. But you know, it's big.
Yeah, but let me just quickly with you, mate. Do you think that because of this result and the momentum, does it influence what we do on Wednesday night now for the Champions League? Obviously, I know we're probably going to we'll have Micky van der Ven back. I don't know how long the concussion protocol is, or whether like they can play again after. I don't think they can. Maybe they can't. Polini or Romero, I don't know. But does it change anything with regards how seriously Tottenham take it, even if it's not to necessarily expect to win the tie, but just to carry on the momentum? Whereas if we'd lost today, do you sort of go, well, let's put all of our eggs into Forest, and then maybe the Madrid game is kind of less important.
Yeah, I think so, especially because we're at home as well. It'll be a good chance to get, this is basically almost like a dress rehearsal for Forest, because I don't think anyone has any kind of expectation or hope of getting through that tie, because obviously at 4-1, at 5-2, it's not going to happen. But what we don't want to do is kind of lose the momentum that we've got. We saw last week how badly a game that we don't really care about that much can still cause a massive shift in momentum because of how horrifically wrong it went. So it's a good balance. It's going to be a difficult balance in that. But yeah, we can't lose this bit of momentum that we finally have got. So it's not an easy thing to do. I don't envy these people making decisions, but like I said, they've managed to somehow get every single big decision wrong lately. So we'll see what happens next.
Yeah. It would be just so typically Tottenham if after that they go and sack Igor Tudor tonight anyway.
And then we lose the momentum completely.
Yeah, because they
lined up.
Because they had a conversation with like Harry Redknapp or whatever, or someone else who's going to come in. He's already packing his bags and coming down there. He's like, wait, do you still need me, boys? Do you still need me after what happened today? I'm still there. I'm at White Hart Lane Station. What am I supposed to do now? I don't know if you want me or not. Let me know. Sandra's got the jam roly-polies. Sorry, Hugo. What were you going to say, mate? Sorry, buddy. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, I was shitting myself when they started rolling off the Liverpool bench, the quality that they were bringing off the bench, like Ekatike and Salah and whatever else. So I was like, oh shit, that was going to be it. But I don't know. It was like, just resolute at the back. My question to you boys is, for midweek and then Forest, do you guys play Van de Ven?
Well,
or
that's
do you leave
interesting.
Danzo, or do you play Danzo? I know he's not naturally left-sided, but Danzo does seem to be at least, reliable. Arguably been, I would say, our most reliable centre-back of the season. So, what do you think? Would you play Romero alongside Danzo?
No, I think if Romero's, I don't know if Romero's fit, guys. Do you know what the concussion? Can anyone in the chat know whether the concussion protocol prevents and precludes these guys, these like Pellegrini and Romero? Are they out for? Is it 10 days? I think
it's a bit of a problem. Yes, yeah. 10 days. But the problem is, I think it's 10 days. But the problem is, they asked Cuti Romero who he was, and he said he was Bobby Moore, which is great. So I say play him.
He might be identifying as Bobby Moore. So
I don't think they'll play Wednesday. I don't think either will play Wednesday.
No.
Will they be allowed? They'll be allowed to play. They'll be allowed to play for the Forest game, won't they?
So who do you play Forest then? Centre backs.
See how you get on. See how Danso and Dragusin get on against.
Do you know what? Maybe, just maybe, when Cuti Romero and Micky van der Ven, who I would have made them travel to Liverpool, sat on the bench. I would have made them travel, concussion or not, captain, right? It means he can't play, but it doesn't mean he can't sit on a coach or on a plane or what have you. I would have made them sit there, and they should be watching that game tonight and see that is what it is. That's what caring about the badges, not coming across and trying to pick a fight with the fans after you put out a shocking performance, or gobbing in front of a whole load of ball boys like he did against the Palace game and walking off and straight down the tunnel like he couldn't give a damn, right? I don't want to see that. Today I saw heart, saw passion, and I saw players who actually cared. And you know what? You can say what you like about Mathys Tel. Mathys Tel played today like a kid who cared, despite how he's been treated by the club on numerous occasions and by some of the fan base. And
I think when he won a corner kick, because I was in the middle of a WhatsApp debate with Flower, because I always think James Flower, whenever James Flower decides to criticize our players, the first name off his lips is always Mathys Tel, and I'm like, look, criticize the players, but he shouldn't be the first name off your lips every time. And as I was having that argument, he won the corner kick. And all of the away fans, the Tottenham fans, who were absolutely fantastic, were turning around, called like Udall.
Gave it as well, didn't he? He gave it the classic.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. For me, he's someone. Look, for sure, he runs down blind alleys. For sure, he gets hold of the ball, and his first thought is always to sort of drive with it, and he does lose it a lot of the times when he does that. But you know what? That's par for the course, in my opinion, with a lot of creative players, right? If you want someone to create and you want someone to take players on, you're not going to take players on and beat them every single time, especially if you're double man marked or double marked out of the game. It's the same thing that happened with Kudus. So like, I encourage him to do that thing as long as, 3 times out of 10, you either come away with a corner or you beat your man. And I think for the most part, I don't know why Mathys Tel gets the hate he does. I really don't. What are you saying on that one, Billy?
Yeah, I completely agree. I know sometimes it's a little bit frustrating when he runs into a blind alley, like you say. But he created 3 or 4 chances today. Put a really good corner in for Richalison, and Maddison saves it. That was a good header from Richalison, to be fair. And I just think, and the floor is low for what we expect at the moment. Let's be honest. Like, some of our players, it's given us absolutely nothing. And I know some people will say, well, how low are the standards that we're praising effort? But that's how bad it is at the moment. That's the reality that we're facing, where a lot of our players aren't even given that. So, I completely agree. I think there's a way more list of problems higher than Mathys Tel at the moment. And I think at the base level, he's showing some spirit. So many of our players aren't. So for me, definite fan of Tel.
Johnny, let me just before I bring up the stats from the game, West Ham obviously got a point yesterday against Manchester City. Forest getting a point today, but not having enough to get the job done. Could have gone either way that game. Leeds also struggling to get the win.
I thought they battled well to get the draw, to be honest with you. 10 men for that length of time. I thought they did well.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. Right. But do you think that, if I'm a West Ham fan, if I'm a Leeds fan, if I'm a Forest fan, over the last month, I've watched my teams battling well, grinding out results, and putting them, getting points, right, and putting themselves out of trouble, or at least getting to a position where they might be in a stronger position than they otherwise thought they would have been. They're also looking at Tottenham and seeing Tottenham's absolute freefall. No fight, no desire, no spirit, losing 4 goals a game since Tudor's been in, and the constant media speculation around Igor Tudor's still in his job. And everyone's getting asked, who's, Harry, are you going to come? He's talking about getting the job before the other guy's gone. All of this stuff. I'm thinking Tottenham are clearly the sinking ship, right? All we've got to do is scrape a couple of points, guys, put a few performances together. That's going to be the narrative in their dressing rooms. That's going to be the narrative on their fan channels and around their club. Tottenham are going down. We've just got to make sure that we can get a couple of extra points. Yeah. Do you think today's performance, do you think today's effort from Tottenham puts an element of doubt? Does it plant the seed into the minds of the fan bases and the players and the coaching staff of some of our rivals for relegation, and think, shit, Tottenham might rally from here, and then we've got to either double down and go again, or maybe just suddenly they start, errors start to creep into their games and things. Johnny, do you understand my point?
Yeah. Listen, I think if you flip on both sides of the coin here, I think Forest would be slightly disappointed with the game against Fulham. Fulham had the better of the first half, but they dominate the second, been offside by an elbow. They'll be very disappointed. West Ham will be absolutely delighted drawing at home against Man City. Leeds will be absolutely delighted. Somehow they hung on with 10 men. But then to come and see Spurs, who they expected to get absolutely smashed today, get that point will be disheartening. But I'd like to be a fly on the wall in that Spurs dressing room, because I reckon when they went in there today, they were buzzing. They were buzzing. That's the positive catalyst that they've needed. They've had nothing positive at all. But coming in there, you saw how much it meant to Tudor, how much it meant to Richie. Richie was gutted he came off before that corner. You could see but by his face. But I think that dressing room will be buzzing today. And I think when they turn up at training on... Probably they won't train tomorrow. They'll come back in on probably Tuesday, maybe. I think the guys who didn't play will be lifted by that result as well. I definitely do. And to all the Sky journalists who and others, look, whatever we think of Igor Tudor, the disrespect in the press has been pretty shambolic, right? It really has. And he's had no time for it. And I just see there, Peaky Blinders has said Tudor just mugged off the Sky journalist.
Yeah.
100%, mate. Got no time for your negativity. Personally, Sean, what set off my rant and your rant yesterday on Football Inc. was very much so of that comment This is no place for crybabies. This is time to man up, stop bitching, stop moaning about I can't look at my phone, I can't look at my phone, it's too tough, it's too tough. You're in a privileged position playing football that most people would give their left leg to play and to get paid that amount of money. And I just think today was massively important. That goal is absolutely huge today, because we could have come out of that game not losing 1-0, and we would have said, you know what, we tried hard, we played hard, but
I still would have given them credit for the effort.
Yeah, no, but yeah, we would have done, but we would have said, look, we didn't get what we deserved out of that game. I still think we didn't get what we deserved, because I think we could have won it with a bit more luck. But
yeah, I think we had the better chances.
Yeah, it's the catalyst. It is the catalyst of hopefully, I also think it's very important, and a lot of people were saying to fob it off. I think it's very important that we go into that Madrid game with the same mentality. I don't want to see us throwing off the game, if you know what I mean. This is an important.
For the Madrid game.
No. I want us to come out there exactly in the same mental attitude, because winning becomes as much part of your mindset as losing does. And we saw with West Ham, when you get that momentum going. So I just need to see us win against Madrid. I'm not saying we need to go through, but I think a win against Madrid, again, even if it's a 1-0, 2-0, what have you, that's going to be a massive boost. And I've got to be honest with you, I didn't think Atletico Madrid were great in that game at the Metropolitan.
No, I didn't either. Yeah. I think we could get them if we get an early goal. The crowd will be up.
Who knows?
It's my birthday on Wednesday. I might even go out there for my birthday. Are you going, Johnny?
Of course I'm going.
Oh, I might come up there. You know, I had to get up there at 11 a.m. Start on the Magnums early. You'll see me rat-a-ta-ta stumbling down the road before we even get into the game. Hugo, let me ask this, mate. I know you came in sort of trying to kind of like, karma, and I appreciate what you're saying, mate, because I think there's absolute truth to the notion that we have seen false dawns, and we have seen lots of, I think people looked at the result against Frankfurt. People looked at the result against Dortmund and thought, this will be the thing that turns 2026, gets us going. And it wasn't. It didn't prove to be that way. So, but this is a league performance. This is I think the best league performance for a while. What's your take on how we go about Wednesday? And just before you answer, just so you know, guys, we got the press. I got the quotes from the press conference that are dropping. I'll bring them up in a minute. And also, apparently, I'm going to try and get Tudor's Sky interview script as well. Go on. Sorry, Hugo.
The Atletico game?
Yeah.
It's a home game, so if there's a good atmosphere as well, and we can put in a good performance and start to sort of turn the tide of, the feel-good factor, so to speak. I know we're still, in the grand scheme of things, deep in the shit, but if we can at least start to kind of, the players can show a bit more, they can just show that they've got a bit more heart to it, that it's, they're not just out there to cash the paychecks. I think that, the fans are going to feel more invested, and it's going to slowly improve the atmosphere at home, right? We don't have, how many more home games we got, including Atletico? Is it 5 more?
No, we got 8 more games.
8 more games.
No,
8 more games in the league, and then
home games. All right.
Okay. 4 home games, or 5 home games. Yeah, 5 home games, including Atletico. Yeah.
So, if we can keep a bit of momentum and go from here, obviously we're going to be. It's going to be probably the same centre back partnership as today, isn't it, with the concussions? But with that with the whole prima donna thing in mind, with Van de Ven's, delicate nature and all the rest of it, do you think Tudor would have taken today and looked at it and gone, do you know what? I need proper, men that are going to stand up and be counted. Van de Ven, you can sit yourself down. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. listen, I think it was an interesting thing that when Johnny asked the question, although he never actually let me answer.
Oh, did I not?
He asked the question and then just answered it himself.
All right.
That's all. I'm joking, Johnny. So everyone's animated because we actually put in a performance for the first time. I think Johnny asked the question: is Micky van der Ven and Romero the problem children? I think there's several people that are problem children. I think the fact that Xavi Simons hasn't started 3 games, I would imagine that you could infer from that Igor Tudor puts him in that category as someone that's a bit of a petulant little shit. And to be honest, like as I say, Xavi Simons, I thought he did okay when he came on. I thought he did okay. He was a little bit selfish because we broke in the 94th minute. We broke away, and Xavi Simons could have whipped it across the park. And Kolo Muani was unmarked at the back post. Now it would have had to have been a spectacular cross to have split Alisson and the 2 centre backs, but he could have done it. Instead, he cuts back on his right foot because he's so right-footed, and then essentially takes a shot for himself. A little bit selfish, a little bit frustrating, but I did think he came on and brought some energy. I would put him in that category though as probably one of the problem guys. I definitely think Micky van der Ven is in that category, and I mean, look, Romero. I never know with Romero because I think he's just one of these types of people, isn't he? That, I think he wears his heart on his sleeve and stuff. But look, I don't think that you can sit there and probably make the argument and say when Romero and Van der Ven are back, you leave them on the bench. But you know what? Igor Tudor is clearly the sort of guy that's not afraid to make tactical decisions that are a little bit unorthodox. And so I'm not going to sit here and say it's not going to happen because I don't think it will happen. I think it'll be incredibly unlikely that if you had a fully fit squad or a squad with those players back, even some of the problem children that he alludes to or the victimhood stuff, I still think that he would be more inclined to play them than he would Dragusin at, say, left-sided centre-back. But listen, I don't think that Dragusin had a bad game today. I don't. I mean, maybe I missed some things, or maybe I got my glass half full goggles on, but I thought Danzo was great. I thought Pedro Porro had so much space down that right hand side that he provided things. I think some of his passing, some of his crossing was a little bit too deep and stuff. But I actually quite liked that back 4 today. I thought Jed Spence had a decent shift. I don't think Jed Spence got beaten too many times at the back. And so, I'm not horrified if those 4 play at the back at home against Atletico Madrid. It'd be a whole different challenge. Atletico Madrid will Atletico Madrid rest their players? Will they maybe rest? I don't know what they've got going on in their league situation, who they're playing in a couple of days, but will they possibly be resting players like Adamola Lookman or players like Julian Alvarez? I don't know. But listen, if we get an early goal in the game against Madrid, it's game on. I think it's game on. I think that you will get the tails up and I think you've got to throw a lot of caution to the wind and have a crack. And clearly, by that state of the second half, it felt like Ange ball again, Hugo. It felt like Ange ball again in that second half.
It was end to end. It was end to end, apart from the fact we only conceded 1.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Question for you then: on Wednesday, would you play Van der Ven left back?
Would I play Micky van der Ven left back?
Yep.
He'll play a back 3 again.
You think? Why after today? Why
I don't think he should.
God's earth would he revert back to a back 3? Plus in that game when our midfield was getting completely overrun. Why?
Well, listen. It all depends, right? I mean, will he take the risk? He can't play Sousa at left back, right? Because he's cup tied. So,
yep.
It would mean Spence playing out there. Look, I think the thing is, like I said, I think it's important to get the win more than anything. Not so much to go through. Listen. Look,
I don't think we'll get through. You're going to have to score 4 goals, aren't you? Because if we go to penalties, it will be
and
it's about the win. It's about the win. Sean,
yeah, win the 90 minute. Win the 90 minutes of football, even if it's 2-0 or 2-1.
Credibility returned. Right, 2 good results back to back going into the Forest game. Make the Forest players question their own behaviour. They've got to go to Mitterrand on the Thursday. We will have more than an extra day because we will be playing on Wednesday at home. They will be playing on Thursday away from home. So, listen, I think we have to win the game. I don't want to be seeing any laying off players and resting players. Conor Gallagher with his upset stomach, maybe he'll be ready.
Udogie, I guess, might be back quite soon, apparently, as well.
Yeah, but throwing someone in who hasn't played in weeks, yeah, maybe off the bench.
And when do we think? Do we think that Tudor's number 2 is going to get a work permit anytime soon?
Yeah, by next season.
Yeah. What are we doing here? Absolutely mental. What was I going to say to you guys? Let me ask you a question about what you think about some of these quotes. Right, we've got these quotes here from Igor Tudor. He's only updated 2 things. So he was asked, how did it? I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that when it's all updated. Let's have a look at the actual the stats.
Scoreboard.
Let's have a look at the stats for a second. So what am I doing here? Liverpool, Tottenham. And if you start with a momentumometer, it doesn't really tell a story that is particularly pretty, right? It does look like Liverpool were all over us, but I don't really remember. I remember the first half, they had a hell of a lot of possession, but didn't do anything really with it after they scored their goal. But the second half, I feel like that's, I don't know. I mean, maybe I remembered it differently, but I did feel like Tottenham had just as much of the ball and just as many chances, right? But it doesn't really feel like that looking at the momentumometer.
No, listen, we gave the ball away a lot. I thought Solanke was poor. I'll be honest with you. I was really surprised that he stayed on the pitch. What score did Solanke get?
Solanke got a 6.9.
Wow.
No shots on target, no shots on goal. His passing, 10 passes from 16. Terrible. So he gave the ball away 6 times.
I thought, how is that 6.9? I'm sorry. I would have given him a 5.
Is it because of his defensive stuff? I think he must have put in some defensive work. Unsuccessful touches, 3. Dribbles, successful, 1 out of 1. Carried the ball a little bit. He must be some of the defensive work.
Why are you wearing gloves, mate, when it's not even that cold out?
Ground duels 1, so he won 4 out of his 5. That's probably why he got a little bit of a bump there, to be honest. I want to check. How did Pape Sarr get a 7?
Well, he did better. He did much better. He was terrible in the first half. He had a much better second half. Much better second half. I thought he was poor in the first half, but definitely came back in the second, I thought.
Yeah. 4 clearances, 9 recoveries. That's interesting. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Ground duels 1 as well. Looks like we won the midfield battle, boys. Did we win the midfield battle today?
I thought Pape Matar Sarr actually did very well the second half. I thought it was very much part and parcel of what came on. Who was our top points?
Richalison gets an 8 because he scored the goal. But let's have a look. How many he had 5 shots on goal, 4 shots on target, 1 big chance missed, 1 offside. Expected goals 1.44. Richalison was great, and I think a couple of the headers that he had were just a little bit over the top. Right, he just couldn't reach them. He couldn't quite get on the end of it. Mathys Tel. Let's have a look at Mathys Tel. What did he do? He got a 7 out of 13. And let's look at his carrying stuff. Dribbles. 46 touches, 4 unsuccessful touches, 4 successful dribbles out of 5. 14 carries of the ball. Progressive carries 3.
I'm surprised he was 0.1 more than Solanke. I'm really shocked at that. Those.
Yeah, don't worry about the score. The scores, the Sloper score ratings, the algorithm's completely fucking stupid. What did Vicario get up to? As a goalkeeper, 3 saves, 2 saves inside the box. That must have been. There we go. 5 recoveries. What did he get? As well. He got a 6.3 because his passings. Look at that. Look at the unsuccessful distribution. Look at his unsuccessful. The reds are unsuccessful and the greens are successful. God. It almost looks like. How many
unsuccessfuls were there, Sean? I can't see.
1, 2,
a lot.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There must be 25 distributions. There we go. 22 out of 41. 54. Half of his fucking passes are unsuccessful. You know?
Out of 40 passes, 40 distributions, 22 were out.
22 out of 41, yeah. But obviously, all of these are long. Like, he didn't have any. He had very few short passes.
No,
today.
because every time he passes short, he did do one short pass.
Oh no. All of his accurate ones were short. I'm saying all of his inaccurate ones.
All right.
All of his inaccurate passes were long ones.
No,
But,
there was the one where he managed to pass it to
correct.
Salah.
Yeah, that we nearly lost the.
That one here. This one here on the right hand side here. Yeah, it goes down. Fucking bozo. He makes the difficult things look easy and the easy things look hard. We've got Matt in the house. Big up to you, Matt. How you doing, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I just thought it'd be nice to pop on, maybe have a bit of positivity for once, Sean. So yeah, I mean, just great to see a good enough performance there, and the fight is still in that team. So yeah, I think it's something to cling on to for all us fans. You know, been a tough few months, mate, I'll be honest.
Will this be the catalyst that gets Tottenham back into some sort of momentum, or is this just a potential full storm? Can you hear me? You can't hear me again. Some sort of momentum. Hi, Alex. How you doing, mate? Oh, turn off your YouTube, mate.
Yeah, I did. Good night.
There you go. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm really good. I'm so excited. It was like seeing a good Tottenham team. I'm happy.
Who was your man of the match?
Well, I would say Richie. He was everywhere. He was giving the fights. I know he was unlucky with his shots, but then again, we gave away shots. We were shooting. We had chances. I mean, I remember just a couple of games ago, we had 2 shots per game, and now we had, I think, Richalison alone had 5 or 6 shots. At least one was in, thank God. And It was a joy to behold. It was really nervy at the end, of course.
He didn't do the pigeon celebration, did he? I didn't catch that on TV.
No, not that I'm aware of, no.
I don't remember the last time he scored a goal and he didn't do the pigeon. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know what we're doing, Richarlison. You score against Liverpool, you keep your shirt on, and you don't do the pigeon? What are we doing here?
Who are you?
Who is this fraud?
Richarlison, yes, I know.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. Now, I'm asking everyone, mate. Look, I mean, the game itself, I don't know. For me, it feels like a win. I know it's not a win. And I know that all the other teams around us picked up points as well. So I'm kind of with Hugo in as much as everyone needs to calm down a little bit. But I haven't seen a fight like that for so long. And for me, it's got to be the start of something. It has to be the start of something with regards, kicking on. I don't know whether the Atleti game. Would you rather have no Atleti game this week? Would you rather play Nottingham Forest in a different reality? Play Nottingham Forest next weekend and then have Atletico Madrid after that fact? I know it's kind of like an irrelevant thing, but
well, I think that they really looked naked at the end. They played a high press. They got tired, so they need time to rest, especially if you cannot change things up. But I mean, did you get the answer regarding the concussion protocol? Romero,
I think it's 10 days. So that would mean from Tuesday night, it would mean that they would be able to play against Forest, but not against Madrid.
Yeah, but the concussion protocol is just an FA thing in England. I'm not sure if that also transfers to the UEFA rules. Rules.
You might be right about that.
I don't know. I'm just speculating here. But...
Yeah, true. Don't know. Billy, I know you wanted to come back in. I know you've only got a little bit of time, but you said that you disappeared because you had to. I don't know what this is about, this bus thing. I don't know what you're talking about when you said you've got an update. What's going on?
Yeah, sure. So obviously, it's a massive game for us on Sunday, and there's a group of fans. It's not related to a group or anything like that. It's not related to Change for Scotland. But I'm trying to organise a meet before the game to generate some atmosphere. Going to try and greet the players. There's some big people involved. We're going to try and get a drummer down. There's flags being printed for it and all that kind of thing. Because I don't know if I know you've probably already spoken about this on the show before, but I don't know if anyone saw the Everton tweets that were doing the rounds. And there was an interview with Brennan Johnson where he said that it was the fans that really dragged us over the line. And when they started gathering outside Goodison Park, it really had a massive effect on us. So I know there's a group of guys that are trying to organise that for Forest. Details will definitely be dropping this week, but it's definitely going ahead against Forest. Going to greet the team bus. Things like flares, flags, drummer, proper atmosphere.
Amazing.
And I know that the intention is basically just to try and do anything that fans can do to try and drag the team over the line.
Yeah,
I think I've got a Vuvuzela somewhere in my cupboard.
Yeah, you can bring it down, my friend. Bring it down.
I've got a foghorn. It's called Bugsy Malone. I'll bring her down.
Sean, we're hoping that you can come with some impressions, is what we're hoping. If you can do like 5-minute spot of a couple of the different impressions.
Yeah, absolutely, not a problem. You know, I don't know if I should be there really because I don't know if I'll be needed. But Igor Tudor, wait until he gets the sack, and then maybe I'll be in to do the job for the rest of the season. Absolutely fantastic, Billy. Let me ask you. I've got to ask you a question because someone did mention.
Sean, I was just going to say, let's just hope that we don't have the situation what we had when we were at Bournemouth, when myself and my son stood there for half an hour waiting for the coach to come. The coach came and they all went and walked in and ignored everybody.
So there's two questions I want to ask. So the club are involved in this, are they? Then Billy.
But they're not involved in a like tangible way, but they are. We've had discussions with them just to make sure that there's a bloody bus that's going to turn up and stuff like that. You know, we have communicated with them, and they've been very welcoming of the communication and bit of back and forth. Just so, because you know, for example, it comes down to the manager what time the team bus gets there on the day and stuff like that. So they've been very open to communicating so that to help us out basically.
Okay.
They're arriving later now, by the way.
Yeah, Tudor's changed it.
Yeah, he's changed the timing.
What to be able to get the fans get
more?
No,
fans he changed it from day one. He started arriving later for some reason.
Hey, it's because I go up in Italy, even though I'm from Croatia. You know, you work hard, you play hard, but you don't get to work until you absolutely have to. That's how we do it in Croatia. Let me ask this though, mate. People have been asking Billy in the chat. About the Change for Tottenham protest being cancelled. Yeah. Obviously, I work with Stel. Johnny and I work with Stel. I saw Stel message you saying basically he's not impressed with the fact that Change for Tottenham have cancelled the protest in favour of supporting the kind of this supportive thing. Do you want to sort of justify or talk about? You haven't got to, but do you want to talk about the reason why Change for Tottenham?
Yeah, and again, I can't talk on behalf of all of Change for Tottenham. I can only support myself, but. It's really, really difficult. So when you see some of the stuff that's coming out this Thursday, this week in general, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be getting behind this bus meet, which is obviously arranged before the game, which for me, I think it kind of kills momentum for any kind of protest that was planned. And again, it's not to say that it's not important to hold the owners to account, which is always really, really important. But I just feel like, you know, firstly, at the moment, I think a lot of fans just want to support the team during the relegation fight. Which, you know, again, is up to everyone, isn't it? And secondly, you know, there's a chance that this kind of, you know, the huge atmosphere at Forest could enable to drag the team over the line or something like that. It could make a real difference. So we're supporting that. It's not to say that the same message is not clear. You know, we have to protest against the owners. We have to do better. But I just think at the moment, it just seems like the most important thing at the moment that fans can do is support the team. You know, we're going to take some flack for that, and that's fine. And, you know, it is what it is, and it's, you know, the job of Change for Tottenham is really, really difficult because, you know, we always get labelled. Any time we do a protest, we get questions about is the timing right and stuff like that. But it just feels like at the moment, all of our, in my opinion anyway, and you know, lots of people's opinion, and I know some people disagree with it, and that's fine. Just feels like as fans, a lot of our energy should be into supporting the team at the moment. That's not to say that protests necessarily go against that. It just feels like I don't think we're going to get much momentum when all the stuff that comes out this week is going to come out. I think people will realise that there is a lot of momentum at the moment in terms of getting behind the team. You know, it's not just there's a lot of support that's going to come out in front of that for that meeting. So it just makes protesting seem a little bit difficult to organise and difficult to get the numbers. And I don't think we can afford to lose any support for Change of Tottenham at the moment. So it's a really difficult decision. You know, everything that we do is a difficult decision because it's hard to get things right all the time. But it feels like the appetite.
And also, you're never going to please everybody all the time. You're never going to please anybody all the time, are you? To be honest. So.
Yeah, and it just feels like a lot of the fans at the moment just want to get behind the team and support the team, just because our Premier League survival is literally on the line. And I completely understand, you know, both sides. I can understand why people are frustrated with it, but at the same time, you know, we protested at the West Ham game. There were 150 people there. The numbers were low, and that was a huge moment in the January transfer window with a lot of media coverage. If we have another protest where not many people turn up, it's just killed the message completely. So
can I just say something? Can I just say something to back what you're saying? Look, I'm not happy with this ownership. Right? It's well documented, but the thing is, I think now, I think it's the time to get behind everybody, to get behind the team, support the team. Because I said to you, unlike relegation, I think it's absolute bullshit, right? This club needs a near miss, a near fatal car crash almost of this club to wake them up. I'm happy, and when we are safe and when we know we're safe, that is the time to start demonstrating against this ownership and to all get together. But right now, isn't it? I don't want to be demonstrating when we're in the Championship. I want to be demonstrating after we've secured our survival, and that's the most important thing for every fan. First and foremost, that should be it. And yes, a lot of these players haven't shown loyalty to the badge, loyalty to the fan base, but we have to step up now. Now's our chance to do our bit. And if we can do what you were saying, Billy, and back the players and give them that extra 10% that gets them over the line against Forest, is going to make a massive, massive difference. And that's all that matters right at this moment. So I'm all behind it.
And who knows what will happen? It might not make a difference. It might, we might go and get smacked by Forest or something. But I just feel as a fan base, we have to know that we try to do everything we could to try and keep the team up, because right now, not enough people at Tottenham are doing that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Any other takes from the other three guys here regarding the change for Tottenham protest? I don't want to sort of move it into that sort of side. I just wanted to give Billy a chance to speak his mind on that. Have you guys got any comments quickly?
Well, I'm a foreign fan from Austria, and I won't be able to participate in any protests before the game because I'm one time zone away. When I understand the wish, but if I go back to the game we just saw after the equalizer, you could only hear the Tottenham fans, and that was such a great thing to see, to feel the energy again. And I was like, yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need for 90 minutes next week twice. And,
I agree, mate. I agree. I actually support. I said this to Stel. I said, listen, I know Stel's his own man, and feels very, very strongly about the ownership and all those things. And I know everyone does in their own way or whatever. But on this one, I actually agree that and I think Johnny sort of summed it up as well, that there's a time for protest and there's a time to back the team. And I think right now, there's nothing ENIC can do. Well, actually, there's one thing ENIC can do, which is probably there's a bit of a spanner in the works, maybe on that potential outcome because of what's happened today. And I do want to kind of come to that in a second, get all your takes on it. But just on this particular point, for me, I actually think that make it about ENIC right now is massively missing the trick. I think that that's not going to create any good energy. That's just going to create angry energy, negative energy before arguably a bigger game. Certainly financially, I would probably say it's a bigger game against Forest, even though the financial ramifications of the Europa League final were massive. When you get into the Champions League, make 100 million, lose, you're out of Europe altogether. But I think if you lose this game against Nottingham Forest, I think it probably seals our fate to lose about 250 million quid and go down to the Championship. So you need all hands on deck, all energy, all motivation, every little thing that can help to be wind in the sails of Tottenham Hotspur, the players at least, even if it's temporary. The change for the ENIC out stuff can probably just wait until
I think Johnny's right. I think the plan is once it's decided either way, and let's hope, heaven forbid, that we don't get relegated. Heaven forbid we get relegated. That's the time for the mother of all protests, and that is definitely the intention. But Sean, when the official plans drop, I think they're going to be dropping this week. We're just waiting for a couple of details to be announced because we have to make sure we get the timings right. What time the players are going to be there and stuff like that. I'd love to come on and share them with you guys and on the show and talk about them. Cool.
Of course. Just quickly, guys, I've got some super chats I'm going to do in a minute. Smash the like, smash the subscribe, and don't forget to get over to the whistle blows for Billy. You got to go, Billy, have you? You'll go. Thanks, mate. Appreciate you, bud.
See you guys,
mate. See you soon. Take care, mate. I want to get the rest of you guys' takes on I suppose the big thing, which is, hang about. Let me move this around. Get the big faces at the bottom so it fills up the screen a little bit better. There we go. Igor Tudor, right? Igor Tudor. Everyone's calling for his sack. Suddenly we can pick up a point today. What are we supposed to do now? And are we going to give him a lifeline? And then if it doesn't work out, have we then missed the last window of opportunity to change your manager? Because after tonight, he's going to be around for the Atletico Madrid game. Obviously, if Madrid goes horrendously, you've still got 3 days, 2 days, whatever it is, to be able to sack and move him before Nottingham Forest. But I don't think that you're going to do that. So is today enough of a reason to keep a guy that 2 hours ago every single Tottenham fan wanted gone?
What's the time frame after the Forest game? Isn't there an international break?
Yes.
Yeah, but then you've only got 6 games left in the season.
Yeah, but like that would naturally lend itself if you've got someone to bring in. I would think that would be the time that, you know, I think you've got to now after today, you've got to give him the Forest game, I would think. And then if that goes tits, I think you've got a little bit of time where you've got to get someone else in at that stage.
Yeah. So he's got 2 more games.
Yeah. So Atletico and then Forest, I think.
Yeah, I think for me the question mark is that the Forest is so important. It's so massive that if today was just a blue moon, Matt, I'll come to you. Is a risk, right? There's a risk in everything we do right now. There's a risk in every decision, but is that decision like, you know, is it? Do we have to keep him now because of today's performance?
I'd probably say, yeah, I think he probably does deserve, I suppose, the week. You know, I saw a Tottenham team fight today. I saw a bit more sort of just back to basics type football. Looked like a bit more 4 at the back today, you know, playing long ball, not mucking around with it, you know, so much at the back. You know, with 12 fit players, Sean, going to, you know, to Anfield, and, you know, when they can bring on the likes of Ekitike and Salah off the bench, you know, I think it would be mad probably to get rid of him now after, you know, a little bit of positivity after today. I think we need that momentum going into the whole of next week, and maybe a new manager change is not really what you know, a new manager could come in. He could change things. He maybe he could simplify things more, or he could complicate things more, and then players might get confused again. I listened to Johnny's post-match on his Instagram earlier, and he said it would be mad for Udogie, you know, not to be here. I think he deserves probably the you know, the week that he's got coming up. I think I saw enough today to suggest, okay, I saw bits today. You know, we had 7 shots on target. I think it was at Anfield today. You know, I know they had a lot of possession, but I think they had 2 or 3 shots. So, yeah, I think I'd keep him for the week, to be honest, mate.
There was one stage, I think, Matt, where we looked like we had about 4 or 5 up front. Unlike at Thomas Frank, where we at times we only had like 1 player over the halfway line. So, you know, that was kind of refreshing.
Mate, if we go into the Atletico Madrid with that same sort of mindset where we're willing to throw, you know, gung ho at it because it's the last chance saloon, it's going to be a fucking brilliant game at
Why not?
Got nothing to lose, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Atletico aren't great away from home anyway, I don't think. I think they've got a poor away record. You know, if you get
imagine if we win that game. Well, we're not poor at home, Alex, in Europe, though, are we, mate? 23 unbeaten or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
Alex, let me ask you, do you think it's a risk with Igor Tudor now? I'm not saying that we should sack him anyway. I'm just saying that like the time is running out, right?
I think we all thought that he will get the Anfield game because everybody expected us to lose anyways. So even if we have a new coach in by today, it would not help. It would not help because it's like the first game of Tudor against Arsenal. You know, some people said it's a free miss, and I thought he will get that. I thought we would get smashed, and then it's easier to sack him. But you could see a functioning team. There was spirit, there was fight, and he got the max out of those players that he had. Because I have to admit, when I first saw the team sheet, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is he doing? And then I looked at the bench and I'm like, oh yeah, Jesus, what else should he do? You know, and he did right. I mean, I was confused with.
Well, he could have played He could have played Kolo Muani rather than Sousa on the right, but he went with a different solution, and I quite like Sousa over there. I quite like him. I think he hasn't disappointed me once, Alex. You know,
that's yes. So when he is the manager, I give him that. So I think he deserves to stay there, and I'm not sure if it's not working against Nottingham, if you sack him then, because there is the international break, but of course all the players are gone again, and they play internationally, especially those that we would need, like Van de Ven. He plays left back for Holland, and Romero is happy to go to the national team, and if they play well, they come back also with a different spirit. So it could help actually if they go to the international break, get rid of the negative Tottenham vibes, and if they do well with their national teams, they come back with an elevated spirit. Yeah. And I think that was the last chance to sack him, because to get a manager bounce and then start something new for just six games, we said now.
6 games is crazy. It's crazy short amount of time. Has there ever been such a late sacking in the season?
Yeah, I think was not Sam Allardyce who just came for 3 games.
Was he?
The last 3 games he got. Man, I'm just saying.
And did he keep them up? Did he succeed?
It didn't work
out.
He didn't. Okay. It didn't work out. I think you have to do it now, or you have to stay with him.
Yeah,
and I mean, what we saw today at least proves that there is a functioning team, and then obviously he's reaching the guys.
Yeah.
And you could also see he is passionate.
Yeah, he got a yellow card. He was angry. Yeah.
He has the attributes. And didn't he say? I'm sorry. There's one thing. Didn't he say in the last press conference before Liverpool that he hugged Kinsky in the dressing room, or did I get that wrong?
I don't know. I didn't hear that. Didn't see that.
Okay.
It's the visual thing, though. I think people were pissed off. The visual
it was
thing,
a bad look. I agree with that. Yeah. It was really a bad look.
All right, listen, before I bring Lubo in, there's been 8 super chats rating from the start. Let me just quickly run through them. I really appreciate everyone. Don't forget to smash the like. Big up to Lubo for joining as well. Roy, big up to Roy, my Norwegian Viking member for 37 months. 3 years, mate. Unbelievable loyalty. Now I actually believe we'll stay up this year. We just need to show up the same way against Forest. It's amazing what 90 minutes can do, isn't it, to give you a bit of a lift. Big up to you, Roy. I hope so, mate. It all depends. Oh, no, I've just deleted the Blaine's one. Oh, shit. I have to go back and get it. I'm going to find Blaine's one right from the start. Sorry, Blaine. I'll find it in a minute. It's just dropped off my list. Ian 332 Ian S3207. Big up to you, mate. Thank you very much for the super chat, the super sticker. Big up to James 119 with the super sticker as well. Choo choo to you, mate. Choo choo to you, buddy. Appreciate you very much indeed. I'm gonna have to go back and find Blaine's in a second. Big up to you. Dino Chudini says, big up from Lisbon, lads. Are you on holiday, aren't you, mate? You lucky little git. Big up to you, mate. Could prove a crucial point. Fight and desire. Let's kick on against Forest. 100%, mate. It's all about Forest. Although I am looking forward to the...
I am looking so happy right now to all I've been working on everything to this moment, and I'm just so grateful and so happy for it to come around.
I'll let James gather himself for a minute, Callie. I mean, obviously, you've been around the squad for a long time now, but to make your Premier League debut here, tell us what you're feeling.
Yeah, it's a dream come true.
Wait a minute.
Had a couple games that I've been on the bench, but knows actually about to get on the pitch.
I can hear something.
Feeling.
And you're on the pitch when Richie tucks away that equaliser, which is a massive point for us. How was that?
Yeah, it's good. We need all the points we can get right
Johnny,
now.
Lubo, have you got something on your
the
computer?
best situation, but...
Johnny.
Hi, Johnny.
Johnny! You donut. What's he done? Hang about.
To the house.
Johnny.
To Johnny.
He's lost. He's
the eye person. It's in the garage.
Johnny. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna drop him out. Jesus Christ. What's he doing? Absolute bozo. I bet he's just got me demonetized if that was from Sky or something. Absolute bozo. Big up to you, Dino. Thank you very much indeed. Johnny. Mate, we can hear your conversation. We can hear your TV. Whatever's going on. Don't know what you're doing.
Floating head.
Sorry, mate.
I don't know what's going on. I can hear all your conversations in your TV.
I know. I was trying to tell it. I was just trying to say sorry, mate. And what happened was it muted. So I was thinking, why can't I hear, but you can hear me? It muted, unfortunately. Listen, look, at the end of the day, guys, I see a lot of people complaining that we should be celebrating a draw. I don't know who you are or how you live your life, but when you've gone to as many games, and I've gone to so many games like Lubo has down to Liverpool, had Lubo and I gone there today, I think we would have been jumping up and down and enjoying every single second of it, and we would have been buzzing on that journey back today. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be today, but I certainly enjoyed that goal going in at the last minute. It makes such a massive change for us being on the flip side of that, where the other team scores in the last minute to kick us in the teeth or kick us in the nuts. And listen, one swallow don't make a summer. But if this is the start of just something that's going to get us out of the trouble, then I'm embracing every bit of it, to be honest with you. I think Igor's had enough of the press, and who can blame him? I mean, he's just, all he's read is people getting rid of his job.
Yeah. Let me finish up the super chats. 1 second. Ulrika Carr, Ratatata, thank you very much for the super sticker. Ulrika, appreciate you. Appreciate Tot Spurs as well for another super sticker. Big up to you, Tot Spurs. Hope you are okay, my man. Thank you very much. Super chat. Choo-choo to you even. And James DXB from Dubai says, Billy T is not my lover, but he spits the truth. Big up, Billy T. Yeah, I completely agree. I think I like the way he prioritizes things. He's very balanced, isn't he? He's open-minded, and he can see both sides of the argument for everything. Big up to you, James. I hope you're safe in Dubai. That was very funny from Johnny. They're completely oblivious to what was going on. Lubo, I'm going to go and dig out Blaine's super chat that I deleted by mistake. Lubo, what's your thoughts on the game, mate? Big up to you for coming on.
Oh, listen, over the moon tonight. We've stopped the losing run. We're a point clear. You look at Liverpool away and you think to yourself, we're going to lose ground on the other clubs, possibly. We didn't. I still stick with what I said, that I think we'll stay up. Was it pretty? No. Were we fortunate that Liverpool didn't have their shooting boots on today? Yes. And this manager can't set up a team to save his life. I'll get rid tomorrow. I'm sorry. He is absolutely bloody useless. Sorry.
Interesting.
Sorry.
What didn't you like about him today?
What did I think? Listen, he started off with three at the back. He started off with Porro.
Started off 4-4-2, Lubo.
It wasn't really, was it? It was three.
Well, it was.
It was Lubo. It was
4-4-2, Lubo. Sorry, mate. It was 4-4-2.
He had Spence on the left and Sousa on the right.
No, Sousa was playing right midfield.
Well, Sousa's a left-footed player and Spencer's a right-footed player. So there's your first thing. And we got overrun in midfield. You would expect Gray and Sarr to be overrun by Graham Birch and McAllister. They had so many.
We didn't get overrun, mate. Our midfield won the 90% of the duels.
I saw it a little bit differently. Listen, I'm absolutely delighted. And the strange thing is that we had more shots on target than them, 7-4. They had 17 shots to our 13, and they had 64% possession, which means nothing. It's all about scoring goals. So I'm absolutely delighted. But for me, one late goal that's got us a great point doesn't change my view on Tudor. Sorry, I can't just.
That's fine. It's absolutely fine. That's the question I asked a minute ago.
Because we got a late goal. It's. If we'd have lost again, everybody would have been saying, 5 defeats, Tudor's got to go.
But do you not think can you not see anything that was good about that game?
Yes, no, there were bits and pieces during the game that were really positive for me. And for me, that was a big improvement. Apart from the second half against Man City, that was an improvement on anything that I've seen this year, because the football this season.
So isn't isn't
It's
that
been
could
dire.
that
It's been dire.
could that not be the catalyst though? Is that not like contradictory to your? Because I understand what you're saying, and I've been calling for Tudor to go after this game as well, but. You know, he went 4-4-2 for only the 5th time in his whole footballing career as a manager. And he made some really tough decisions, strange decisions, taking Richie off in the 90-something minute for the corner. Yeah. They're taking off Spence. There were strange decisions. I can't deny that, Lubo, but I just think that there was lots of positives. Well, how many times did we complain under Frank that we had no one over the halfway line? There were times where we had 5 or 6 players up. You know, we were going for it,
and we trusted the defenders to be able to handle the counter attack, and they handled it very well. I thought for the most part.
Second half was much better than the first half. I thought there was a big difference. Listen, I'm absolutely over the moon that we got the point. I still think I said the other day that we'll stay up. I think our 4 predictions were probably the worst predictions that we've ever made.
Yeah.
And Savile went 5-1 as well, so the 5 of us went for either 5 or 6. I'm just delighted, but for me, he's not the manager to get us through. I'd get hold of bring Redknapp in with Defoe, and bring him in.
But do you agree that you can't sack him? That Tottenham can't sack him after a performance like that today?
Unfortunately, probably not. But if I was in charge, I would. But for me, it's
by that rationale, then there was no performance that you would have. Well, unless you won the game. Is that what you're saying? If you won the game,
no.
you keep it?
I've got to say, I think his performance for the first 4 games has been absolutely rank. I think he's been appalling for 4 games, and because
you would have sacked him after Madrid, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely would have sacked him after Madrid. I thought the team he put out against Madrid was disgusting. He should have played Vicario, Palhinha, Gallagher, Simmons, and Solanke. So
do you not think there's a problem with Simmons though, Lubo, that Thomas Frank left him out? He's leaving him out. That there is attitude problems. We saw it against Fulham. We've seen his body language is shocking. You know, he did bits and pieces today. He, did a couple of good things, but again, still giving the ball away quite a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know, Gallagher had an upset tummy today, so.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm seeing on their grey man of the match. I thought Danso, followed by Richie, they were the best 2. I thought today.
Yeah. I thought Danso, Richie, Gray, and Tel were the best 4 players.
Yeah.
I think you've got to play where you can. I think you've got to play Danso and Romero in the middle, don't you?
See you later, guys.
See you, Johnny.
Nice to see you all. And come on, you Spurs. See you all on Wednesday. Speak to you tomorrow, Shawnee. Take care, buddy. Take care. Bye, Lubo. Bye.
Hey, Johnny.
Don't you think you've got to try and, for consistency, you've got to. I think you've got to. I think you've got to have Danso and Romero together, don't you? In the middle.
He'll listen. I don't know what he'll probably he'll play Romero, Danso, and Van der Ven next week.
Maybe I won't mind if Van der Ven's playing left back. I won't mind that. If he's playing, if he goes back to going 3 at the back, I might do my nut.
And you've got Sousa back there, and then Udogie's back for Forest potentially, isn't he? So he could change it up again. So I don't know. I don't think you can drop Danso. I thought he was brilliant again, and I
can't drop Danso.
No, every time he comes in, that bloke is a man. I mean, he's brilliant in the air. I think he's better than Romero and Van der Ven in terms of heading ability and in the air, defensively anyway. And I just like his whole attitude. And, I think there was one counter-attack Liverpool had, didn't he? And Danso caught up with the guy and made a brilliant tackle to take the ball away from him. Because, Dragishin put him in trouble multiple times, to be honest. But yeah,
I thought that was a penalty on Richie, second half.
Oh, well, or a red card, Lubo. Last man.
How is that? When you saw it from the second angle, he's got his hands straight down the chest, and he's putting him back.
Richie was
How
too
did the referee not see that? How did they? It didn't even go to VAR.
So
Yeah,
my question is, we've had a letter go to PGMOL about the VAR decisions. Why doesn't some bright soul at the Spurs, training ground get together some video compilation of all the penalties we haven't been awarded this season and send that along for them to have a look at?
Yeah, but I think Richie didn't even really appeal for it because he got the shot off. If Richie goes
doesn't
down,
matter. You shouldn't have to appeal.
No, he was
for it.
appealing, Sean.
He did appeal, Sean. Yeah, he was going mad.
Yeah, he did appeal.
But I think because he got his shot away, I think if he didn't shoot and went down before, I think they would have to have given it. I'm not saying that's right, but I think because he's got a shot away, they think
punished for being honest.
Yeah, that's not meant to determine.
Basically, if you dive or fall over, you get the penalty, mate. Rather
that's the
than
level
being
that
honest.
the officiating has got to now because of VAR. The refereeing has got to the stage where they're just incapable of making important decisions because they know that ultimately, if there's something that they've missed, typically in the penalty area, or they get the decision wrong, that VAR will jump in then. But
the problem with that mindset,
that's not even on the radar.
The problem with that mindset is for VAR to step in, they have to overrule an obvious error. But if the referee doesn't make a difficult decision because he's thinking, if I made a mistake, it will get overruled. But all of the 50-50s, they have to be 80-20s in favor of the referee making a mistake for them to step in. The 50-50s never seem to go our way because we're not a team that participates in playing the game. Like you see the way Arsenal yesterday, I think was it the left back or was it their centre back? I forget. It might have been Gabriel, honestly, one of those two. He runs across the player that's sprinting for the ball and then just falls over, even though he's clearly obstructed. But they just play the game and the referees give every single thing because Arsenal players have become masters of manipulation and sort of getting into that fine detail, whereas Tottenham just don't do it. And I genuinely think that this is not a criticism of Richarlison because I appreciate the honesty. And again, I think he had a good game. And I think that Tottenham fans generally criticise him for falling over too much. So the one time he doesn't do it is the one time he probably should have done. But I'd rather him be honest, but I'd rather the referees make the right call on in the moment, and they didn't. Let me just quickly get these super chats. I did find Blaine's one from ages ago. Sorry, Blaine, I pressed the delete button on the star. He said, fight and passion shown across the park today. Some individual poor/okay performances, but I almost feel a bit gutted we only got a point. Funny that passion came without Van der Ven and Romero. This is interesting. There's other people that are saying that. It's big up to you, Blaine. And Johnny raised the topic. I think we should have to talk about this a little bit more. Like, are we better without people that think they're better than the football club?
Can I just say something, because I was just now checking the UEFA medical regulations, and under subsection C, concussion protocol, they say that if someone gets out, because we were talking about.
No, I love it.
That in the event of a head injury, before the player is allowed to train or play, the doctor should inform UEFA in writing that the player has undergone a comprehensive multimodal evaluation by a medical doctor and has passed each of the steps, blah, blah. They had a program in there, but they are not talking about days, not just like in England where they have a 10-day cooling down period. So if they follow the steps, they would be allowed, Palhinha and Romero, to play against Atletico, because they don't have a special thing. So I just wanted to say that.
Oh, I appreciate that, mate. Great insight. Trust a man from Central Europe with a German accent, German-sounding accent. I know you're Austrian, no disrespect, but to get the rule book out and to be going through the efficiencies. We wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't be doing that. I'd be just speculating and getting things wrong or right and then never come back.
Durch Technik.
100%. Where are your rule book? The Roslin. Does missing certain players make these players trying to prove themselves not look as good as they are? Right. And then just quickly, I'm going to come back to this one, Roslin. But Adam Gill, did we potentially see the benefit tonight of not having two heads gone once away, centre-backs playing? Should we stick with tonight's pair for a run of games? I mean, four different super chats tonight. I think be up to all of you. We'll cover this off in one go. They're all making the argument that we're better without Micky van der Ven and Romero if Micky van der Ven and Romero are not interested in being at Tottenham Hotspur.
problem is, Sean, we've got next week's the Lucker Cup final. Dragusin was dreadful today.
I don't think he was.
Thought he was really poor.
In the second half, he was left alone to cover like 5 or 6 Liverpool players breaking, and he was sort of zigzagging, trying to get back, running at pace, doing his best. I don't think he was as bad as people were making out.
He got spun a lot, but again, he's playing Salah and Ekitike. And to be honest, Lubo, without Dragusin's block from Ekitike's shot at the end, we would have lost the game.
Yeah. Okay.
So he got us that. He's almost saved us a point, isn't he? Really? I mean, you know, I don't think he's good enough, but I think he's very good in the air. I think when teams, you know, Liverpool swinging it, I thought Danso and him dealt with everything, corners, but Dragusin's not good when it comes to a player going it in one-on-one. You kind of see
my worry for next week is his team selection, particularly in midfield, because you know they've got Gibbs White and Anderson, who's in the form.
Gibbs White got subbed again today about 72 minutes. They took him off.
Just quickly. Radu Dragusin, again, don't listen to the actual scores out of 10 that SofaScore give because the algorithm's weird, but he was the second best player for Tottenham according to their score thing. But here's why they say that. Defensive contributions, 2 tackles out of 2, interceptions 1, clearances 8, 2 block shots, 2 recoveries, 2 out of 5 ground duels 1. He was only he committed 2 fouls. He was only dribbled past 1. And he made 1 error that led to a shot. He dribbled the ball, 109 meters of carrying distance, 10 different carries. His passing, he had an 84% pass accuracy in his own half and 75% overall, which is probably not great. But he only passed the ball, I think, like 39 times. Obviously, no shots, but. I'm sort of like, I think his defensive contribution in terms of clearances and block shots and that sort of thing, like, you know, eye test versus stats. I don't know which one you want to listen to. I didn't think he was that bad because in that second half, when Tottenham left players up the field and were getting countered on and transitioned on, he had a hell of a lot of work to do, and at no point did they breach him. So, you know, I don't subscribe to this Dragusin's. It was awful today. I don't think he was personally. But I know some people will. Some people tell me Mathys Tel was shit today, and I don't think he was.
I think the thing that the glaring difference, right, is Dragusin's distribution is abysmal. I don't think that helps his cause. Yet in the air, he's powerful, and you know, I think all of us have seen him also when he's been on national duty. Right, he's, you know, right there, and he always puts in a good performance for Romania, and you know, has always looked really good there. I think the difference for us, though, is it would massively help. I think having when Romero's in there, who has the ability to pass the ball, I think that's where his deficiencies are shown up, right?
Especially against Forest, who are probably maybe potentially going to sit behind the ball with us being at home. I think you're going to have to break the lines.
I don't think you can play 3 at the back against Forest, because if you allow them to flood our midfield, which
I'd go with 4.
It's going to be a very long day, mate. We've got to have 4 in midfield. Surely.
No, 4 at the back, and I think that defence, they know how to play 4 at the back. I don't think Micky. Every time I watch Van der Ven play 3 at the back, he doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. He goes out of position. He goes too far up the pitch. He flies in for tackles because he's confused with his positioning, and then he gets erratic.
I think his head's got a period, whether he's playing
you should have for next week. You know, if he stays with the more established players, then you're looking at Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, and Udogie as your back 4. You've got Paulinho and Gallagher in front. He won't play Simmons, will he? He won't play Simmons.
No, I mean, he brought Simmons on, didn't he, today? And I actually thought his cameo was pretty good, and he showed a bit of a better attitude.
He'll play Gray or Sarr as the 3rd midfield player.
Yeah.
He'll play Rich. Rich is suspended for Wednesday nights. Richie will be nice and fresh. He'll play Richie up front, probably you would think with Tel plus either Moran or Spanky.
No, I didn't know Richie. That's a shame.
I think you've got to play Mwani, don't you, instead of Solanke for the last few games has been way off it.
Well, what Solanke does, I suppose, when he's two up front, he does press and they'll harry the defenders. I'm not saying he'd quality with like it, but him and Richie seem to work. I thought they worked quite well together too up front today, with Tel getting more space as well, picking up the ball. Probably Mwani might play against Atletico Madrid, I imagine, because he's probably not going to start against Forest.
Yeah.
And obviously with Richie suspended, that would make more sense.
Yeah, I agree. Right, guys, listen, final thoughts for everybody. Are we getting past, on the basis of what we saw today, are we getting past Atletico Madrid? Are we going to beat Forest? What's your levels of confidence? We'll go clockwise on it. Alex, we'll start with you, mate.
Okay, I could see us make a 1-0 or 2-1 win against Atletico. I don't think that we score the 3 necessary goals to go into extra time. And actually, I don't want to go to extra time with such a depleted squad. However, I saw parts of the Nottingham game today, and they didn't impress me too much. And with what I've seen today, I think we could win this and should win this. But then, I'm always the positive guy from Vienna. So that's what I said against Arsenal as well. And we all know how that ended. But still.
That's okay, mate. You've got your kindred spirit next to you here.
I think we will have a... Huh?
You've got your kindred spirit. That you two are always super positive, always trying to find the reasons to be glass half full. Yeah,
well, that's my thinking. But I think we can win against Atletico, but not go into the next round. And against Nottingham, I think with that spirit that we saw today, we can have a victory. Yes.
Lubo.
Although we've got an extra day's rest, plus because Forest are in Sweden, I think, Thursday nights, plus they're travelling home late Thursday or Friday morning. I still think this will be a draw. I think it's going to be a really cagey affair. It's a game that neither team can afford to lose. And I think we'll get the results we need after the international break to stay out when Kudus is back and Berghvall's back as well. So at the moment, the way I feel today, I think it'll be a draw.
Not at Forest?
Sorry?
For the Forest game?
For the Forest game, yeah. Wednesday night, I think will be a draw as well.
Okay, 2 draws. Hugo?
I think the Atletico game, I think we win that one 2-1. And I want to say it's going to be a draw, but I'm going to actually just go against the grain and be hopeful and that we beat Forest 2-1. So 2-1 and 2-1.
2-1 and 2-1. Love that, mate. Love that. Matty boy, what are you saying?
I think we'll show a lot of fight on Wednesday and a good effort. I think we'll beat them, but I think maybe I reckon like 1-0 on Wednesday, something like that. They'll put in a good effort and go out, all of the Champions League showing at least, a bit of fight and desire and a good way of going out.
6-4 on aggregate or something like that, yeah?
Yeah. And I think we're going to beat Forest on Sunday and kickstart a little mini run, especially after the international break, to get us out of this mess and get some momentum, mate. I think today was massive, to be honest, and I think it will give the dressing room a big lift just to stop the rut. And none of us, and I'm sure if you looked at when we're trying to predict results, you looked at that Liverpool game and thought, well, that's 0 points. So there's one mad point already. So you just never know, mate, what could happen. But yeah, I think we're going to have a good week, and I think we're going to win both those games.
As do I, mate. As do I. I don't think we're going to get past. I'm with you, and I think I'm with. Well, Alex, did you say a 2-1 victory against Forest as well?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so I think yeah, Matt, myself, and Alex are on the same page. Hugo's saying for a victory, but and a draw. And,
no, I said 2-1 and 2-1.
Oh, so we're all going. Okay, we're all going for the same thing, apart from Lubo, who says not enough to get us past Forest, but yeah. So we all think they're not going to make it to the quarterfinals to play probably Barcelona, but we all think we're going to get something from the Forest game. But Lubo just doesn't quite see us getting a victory. The rest of us do. I'll take that. It's amazing.
Early red card against Oblak. Okay.
Yeah, you never know, mate. You never know. You know, it's my birthday as well, and on my birthday, you know,
Anything can happen.
get a little prezi. You know, you never know. You never know. Listen, guys, we're going to leave it there. I'll say a massive thank you to everyone that's been in. Oh, so I missed this last super chat. Sorry, Eamon O'Shea said if we have Tudor's replacement ready to start in the morning, then he should go tonight and say thanks for the point. Interesting. You know, I still haven't seen this. I'm trying to find this Sky Sports interview thing that apparently everyone's saying is just cinema.
With the reporter bloke, I watched it.
With Igor Tudor, yeah.
It was good. It was good. He was trying to goad him. He was trying to he was trying to antagonise him. And he didn't take it well, mate. He didn't take it well, mate. Okay.
Yeah, listen, I don't know. I'm going to sleep on it, but I actually think that right now, after a gritty draw away at Anfield, I think that maybe Tottenham, I think the Tottenham Football Club, it's more difficult for them, right? Because if they have a difficult decision to make anyway, if we lost today and it was 5 losses on the bounce for Tudor and they had someone lined up, they'd already found someone, whether that was De Zerbi, whether that's Dyche, whether that's whoever, Harry Redknapp, if they had someone lined up, they could pull the trigger and it could have been an easy decision, which everyone would have probably supported in the short term. Now that we got the draw, I would guess that in fact, I can't even see my live. If anyone can see on my YouTube, I put a poll out there. What is the poll saying? In fact, I'll do it. Don't worry, I'll do it myself. What is the poll saying?
56% want him gone.
50. Oh, there you go. 56%. Okay, interesting. So of the how many people have voted, 56% still want him gone. So it's a 50-50. It's a coin flip. So if Tottenham were to sack him, bring someone else in, and it not work out, then people might reflect back on this, as they always do, Monday morning quarterbacking, and say you shouldn't have sacked him after Liverpool because it was the game changer. But, you know, it is what it is. Listen, guys, we will leave it there. Big up to you, Eamon. Thank you very much for the super chat. Big up to you, Hugo. Big up to Alex. Big up to Lubo. Big up to Matt. Big up to Billy T and to Johnny for coming on. Johnny was on one tonight. Johnny was certainly on one or on something. I don't know. I reckon he had a few glasses of rouge before he came on. Certainly in a bit of a unique style about Johnny this evening. Listen, we love you all. Thanks everybody. I think Saba's on at 10 o'clock, so in an hour and a half. Make sure you get back for that one, and we will see you guys tomorrow for more from us. Big up to you. Big up to Jasper in the background. Big up to everyone. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Gute Nacht.
Gute Nacht.